Hi, I'm Scott Hartley, President and CEO of Calibre Computer Solutions. I'm here today with Ken Halbig of Halbig Painting and Wallpapering. Thanks for joining me today, Ken.
You're welcome.
Ken is a great individual and a trustworthy business professional that I've had the opportunity to get to know through our mutual membership in the B&I Profit Seekers chapter. And today I'd just like to give you our audience, a brief opportunity to learn more about Ken and his business. Because I know that there's a lot of you out there that are watching this video that could definitely use Ken's service at some point in time. So Ken, let's kind of just jump in here a little bit. Tell me a little bit about your services that you offer. What are the different things that you do?
Well, we definitely paint, and I think a lot of people know that. I think what a lot of people don't know is I get asked a lot, do you do outside painting? We do all types of outside painting. It doesn't matter if it's just a small one-story house to a three-story house. We can do it all. We do pole barns, pole sheds, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. We even got into where we offer service to pressure wash and clean houses. We kind of do that kind of like a little bit like cleaning a car. People develop mold and mildew and dirt and stuff, and then after a while, between the years, if you don't do much to your new sidings, that stuff's going to come embedded into the siding. So we go in and we clean that out, or get it as clean as we can, and it looks like a newer sided house or something like that. A lot of people don't realize we do that. Another thing we do is we wallpaper. We can hang anything between 21 inch to 27 to 54 inch. So where somebody's room or to a nursing home or a hospital rooms or stuff like that, we can hang the paper.
Okay, so quite a wide variety of things, whether it's the small interior things, maybe somebody's just needing a small room done. Yeah. You know, the outside of the house, getting that cleaned is very important. Right. You know, decks, fences, those type of things, you know, are very good.
Yeah. Just got in, did a big job for Best One Tire. They had a little bit of leakage around their blocks, put a product on called Sealcrete, and what it does is elastomeric paint. So instead of it just being normal paint, it's meant to keep the moisture out, and it should last them 10 to 15 years on that product. It's actually very affordable. It's cheap, if not cheaper than a normal gallon of paint.
Right.
So they're actually getting a waterproofer and a paint job on that job. And we do jobs where they're either $200 or $20,000. We can handle both ends.
Kind of get all of it.
Yeah.
So I know here recently your company just celebrated an anniversary. How long have you been in business?
102 years this year.
Wow, long time. Yeah. And so kind of give a little bit of a background, because I think you learned from your dad, right?
I learned from my dad, Eugene Halbig, and we were based out of Hobstadt, and we moved up to Princeton back in 1987. Dad's business was doing most of his work up here in Princeton and in Mount Carmel, Oakland City area. And we still do a lot of work down Hobstadt area, but it's more commercial than it is residential. My dad took over the business from his great-grandfather and ran it until he couldn't do it anymore, and then me and my brother picked it up, and then now I run it by myself as a sole proprietor.
And you've got a team that works for you and that you're training. And
yeah, I have guys that work for me. I've sometimes, you know, people come and go, and then I retrain somebody, and sometimes they're trained into more of a runner than they are a painter, but they learn little things as going. And I haven't had anybody tell me that, wow, your techniques are too tough for me to learn. If I just take it patient with them and show them, stay on them, they'll a lot of times learn they can paint like they never thought they could before. So we adjust and jug our jobs around the amount of work and the people we got.
Right. Okay. So thinking back through, you know, all of the different paint jobs and the customers and clients that you've had, what would you say is kind of the picture of your ideal customer?
Normal working person, middle class. We have got into more commercial work in the last few years, but still it's that residential customer that has a home that needs to be repainted. They have ceilings that are damaged from water problems or a stain. A lot of times you get into ceilings, you get into walls. You get into walls, maybe need the woodwork painted. Those type of jobs lead into more jobs, and we take care of the simple customer just as well as the commercial customer.
Okay. All right. Obviously, you know, most anybody who owns a house, there's always maintenance and everything that goes with that. You've got businesses, you've got farmers that have, you know, different barns and sheds and things that need to be painted. If somebody out there is needing a paint job or a wallpapering job done, why should they contact you as opposed to somebody else that offers painting? What sets Halbig Painting and Wallpapering different from everybody else?
Well, it don't take 102 years of business for me to pick up through what I have learned to be a better painter than everybody else. But what does set us apart is you've been taught how to treat the customer and listen to the customer and give them their time. Halbig's has won painter Business of the Year in Gibson County through the Chamber of Commerce in 2013, and we seem to always win Best of the Best by the Princeton paper, which I just got notified the other day we won that again. People are synonymous with Halbig's painting because they know when they're getting a paint job from us, it's quality. And another telltale sign is I don't bid against very many people on most of my jobs anymore. I'm really bidding against myself, whether they can afford it or not. And sometimes when they can't afford it, more times than not, I still land a job. They just might do a little less work, but they will still do some work, and then usually you can catch up with the other stuff down the road when they can afford it. So quality is first and foremost always at hand. It doesn't matter if it's a small job or a big job.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and quality, is very important. I always try to educate, the people that I talk with, my clients especially, that, it's not just about price.
Right.
I mean, you can go out there and find something that's always going to be cheaper, but cheaper is not always better.
Right.
And especially, on paint jobs, just like you've talked about, you want those to last. I mean, you don't want to have to redo that every 2, 3, 4 years. If you can get something of high quality that's going to last, and especially if it's an outdoor paint job, with weathering, for 10 or 15 years, just like you mentioned with Best One Tire, even though it may cost a little bit more up front, it's going to be cheaper in the long run.
Exactly. The thing is with paint is nowadays is usually through experience, you know what you're doing, but I try to use the local people as far as my materials and stuff, but if I don't, I know how to get a hold of a paint rep that will tell me, hey Ken, we need to go this way with it and do it this way, and then they'll stand behind my work. And that's where the people are really winning, because you do the job, and if something would turn up as a problem, we give them the customer service of fixing it and knowing how to fix it.
Right. Now, some people, I'm sure, are questioning, they think, I've got this room that I need to paint or something like that. It's like, I can do this myself. Why should they choose a professional painter over trying to do something on their own?
As far as the work, you're going to have a higher quality job. Sometimes it might make a difference where you're showing your house or selling your house. Our paint strokes are going to be a lot better. Our rolling is going to be a lot better. It just goes to say that if you want it done right, think about the job you do during the day. Maybe you should stick to your job and let the professional do it. So.
Sometimes, it's easier maybe, or cheaper, I guess, to do it yourself, but the quality and everything, because it's probably going to lack, because, you've got 102 years of company experience behind you. Just that professionalism and the experience that you've got is going to show in the craftsmanship.
Right. I'll go in a lot of times and I'll see paint jobs. I'm always checking paint jobs, how they're done. And you'll see some people do a really good job for a residential or a normal person painting. But that's kind of like on a wall and stuff, and you start getting people in doing ceilings, you see things missed, things not done right. You'll see woodwork not done as good, maybe there should have been caulking. We see it all. We do it all and we fix it all and we give the people a good bang. It's just my job to bid it and advise them. It's up to them if they want to afford it.
Sure. And, it's not just, too, it kind of reminded me that, it's not just coming in and actually doing the painting, but, if you're actually prepping the wall and you see, that there's some sanding or some caulking or filling or something that needs to be done, you're going to take care of that.
That's right.
So that the actual end result is what, is going to be best for the client.
Yeah, so we've gone in places before where somebody's painted before, or a new house, and we're in there maybe 4, 5, 8 years later, and I'll feel the walls and they're rough, and we'll go in a lot of times right before I start painting. I might sand them walls down and get them walls feeling right. So they're not going to get a new paint job. Their walls are going to feel a lot better. It's not going to feel like a partial corn cob or something like that.
Right.
We see things, we fix it, and we give that, pass that on to where the customer's house is going to be worth it and look a lot better down the line.
Right. And as far as like painting, I mean, I know you talked about wallpapering, but as far as like painting, it doesn't just have to be the flat paint job. You guys can do, you know, like the rag rolls and all that type of the faux painting. And
we offer about 6 lines of full finishes, and we've been doing that for about 15 years. One of my best jobs I ever did, and a lot of people see it, is if you go up to, ever get a chance to go up to Knights Columbus for a wedding or a rehearsal or anything like that, in the bar is a real nice rag roll job done by us about 15 years ago, and you go up there and look at it now, it still looks impeccable. You know, and when you look at it, you think it's wallpaper, but it's about 6 paint collars and stuff.
Wow. And
we do rag rolling to some sort of stenciling, bagging, striping and stuff like that. Some of the ones that we offer services to. Okay. We've also got into where we do more work on floors, where it's some sort of epoxy paint or epoxy floor fleck paint. People seem to be getting into that more, and we're expanding our business to where we can not only do the floor, but it'll last.
Now, as far as like your service area, I know you've talked about that you started off in Hobstadt. You have a lot of jobs in Princeton, Mount Carmel, Oakland City area. What's your typical range for, you know, going out and doing jobs?
We can go down to Evansville, but we really, as far as customers called, we're somewhere around the northern side of Vanderbilt County in the Evansville area. We do most of our work in Princeton, Oakland City, and Mount Carmel area. And we've gone as far as Albion, Illinois, and Huntingburg, and we'll go up to Vincennes. But basically, pretty well straight down the line of Highway 64, Oakland City through Mount Carmel area.
Okay. Now, if somebody out there is, you know, wants to get more information about you and the services that you offer, if they've got a paint job or a wallpapering job that they, you know, would like you to look at and give them an estimate on, how can they get a hold of you to do that?
Best way to get hold of me is on my phone numbers. My home phone number is 812-385-4769. If I'm not there, leave a message. And if not, my working number that I seem to have with me all day long is 812-664-7590. Also, I have an email address. It's kshalbig, numerical number 4, @yahoo.com.
Okay. All right. Well, Ken, thanks for joining me today. I know that you know, everybody at some point can use either a painting or a wallpapering job, and like I said, I've gotten to know Ken through our membership in BNI and feel comfortable in recommending his services to anybody that needs a painting or wallpapering type job done. Again, you can contact Ken on his cell phone at 664-7590 or via email at kshalbig, the number 4, @yahoo.com, and that information is posted on the bottom of your screen as well. Again, I'm Scott Hartley with Calibre Computer Solutions. We'll see you next time.